I don't think I need to shimmy. But I appreciate.
That's the shimmy. The pants pull. That's the Jimmy.
Oh. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little out of place walking up here.
Ooh, do tell.
So I'm walking up.
You blend into the area so well.
That's not true.
Well, it depends. Broadway's like the train tracks. It's like two sides of the train tracks.
Oh yeah, we're
This side is like the
8 Mile.
yeah.
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 Yeah. No, I get it.
This is the safe side.
Yeah.
This hence why it's so quiet.
Yeah. So I'm walking up and I got my carrying tray of
The intern
of Starbucks with the little. I'm balancing the brownie in between the two
Whoa.
cups.
Yeah. That's a visual.
Yeah, and so I'm walking up, and on the corner, I see it looks straight out of like those. When you come from the Bay Area, those movies like NYPD or Blue or whatever the hell.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's 3 detectives or cops with the.
It's a Law and Order episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Dun, dun.
Which they film often up here, by the way.
Oh,
so.
I didn't see any camera crews though.
Didn't see a production truck.
That's the first thing I looked for.
The craft service table?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and iced tea. Yeah, so.
Not the drink.
No.
The actor.
Yeah. And they have the little the chains with the little badge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
The lanyards, the metal lanyards.
Yeah, and they're checking out this apartment on the corner. There's like 3 of them outside, like looking into this apartment. And I don't know if you ever have that moment, and you probably don't. You're so masculine. But I had that moment where
But not toxic.
I'm holding this Starbucks with obviously my name, Shane spelled with a C, and I'm
The way it should be.
But I mean, like it's very easily if a detective came over and was like told me to leave, he'd be like, "Hey, Cheyenne, kick rocks."
Yeah.
And I've never felt more like I was driving a Prius in my life, and I was just like,
You just drove a Prius to like a.
There's no way I can contribute to that situation at all. Like I can't even.
Driving a Prius by a biker gang, it's like
no.
One of these things is not like the other.
Maybe if one of the detectives like shoes were untied, I could lace it up for him, but that's about it. So yeah. Yeah, that dropped down my masculinity level as I walked up here. So that's just kind of my mind state right now, unfortunately. Welcome to the More Than Meatheads podcast. This is Shane.
And Lewis.
You can find us on more underscore Dan underscore crying a little bit. Meatheads on Instagram. More Than Meatheads.
Cowboy up, goddammit. Put on your big boy pants.
More Than Meatheads on Facebook. More Than Meatheads on YouTube. And you can also find us on the interwebs. More Than Meatheads.
.com.
That means .com for everyone listening.
Mm-hmm.
And we would love if you rate, review, subscribe to any and all of those platforms I just mentioned.
And after you do that, pass it on to all your friends and family.
Yes, please.
Because we're a family-friendly show. If your family and friends are 18 and up.
Yes. We actually got a recent review over the break that I didn't even notice. A new recent 5-star review, which we very much appreciate. So
yeah, shout out to our new coworker Julia, who gave us a nice review.
Yeah, if you're not going to give 5 stars, then don't.
Yeah, 5 stars only.
Yeah, we had 4.5 there for a while, and that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like it was a hater, probably a vegetarian out there. It was just like, how dare you?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. But what did you do the past 24 hours? It has been about 2 days since our last podcast.
Yes. Yeah. What did I do? I worked out. That was cool. Got a little workout. Made my first Instagram reel. I feel like one of the kids now. Not quite a TikTok, but Instagram version of TikTok.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was fun. I was so winded after that because we just filmed it one right after the other.
After pressing the button?
No. Like, went from the boxing to the pull-ups to the ropes to the push-ups. Mm. And there was like almost like no break in between. We just went like kind of guerrilla style. Anthony and I just went kind of like guerrilla style, just filming it right away. Then he had to test it, so I had to do it a few times. So it was just like bang, 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 bang. Done in about 5 minutes. The whole thing.
Yeah, that is the weirdest thing where like we had that photo shoot the other day where I'm like holding a weight. And listen, you can do a weight a bunch of times. You can do a lot of reps on something.
Yeah.
If you ever have to do it for a photo shoot, always err towards like lighter.
Go lighter.
Because I'm sitting there holding the weight.
Don't be the hero.
Yeah, I'm holding the weight above my head. There's people around, so you get this like weird peer pressure situation where you're like, oh, I gotta go heavy. No. Because you're holding the weight in that position for like minutes.
Yeah. It's not gonna be a Jay-Z in the studio type of thing. Like you're not gonna get it in one take. You're gonna do this a bunch of times, and it becomes a workout in and of itself.
Yeah, it's like that movie Unbroken at a certain point where you're just like, my endurance just got shattered. I cried a little bit. Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, got in a good workout. It was nice to be at pressure. Like, feeling the vibe, feeling the mode.
I was there today, and if I were to make a reel, it would be that scene from Liar Liar where I'm kicking my own ass because it was like 2 hours. And what was messed up was that this is something that people who don't work out will not ever know. Is that well, no, like
shade. Jesus.
No, but you ever have like a tough day at the gym, and obviously you volunteered for this effort, right? Tough day at the gym, and then you go into work, and those same people that you were chipper with, like yesterday, in between yesterday and today has been like a leg day, for instance, or whatever, or a massive amount of squats. Dude, you're just having zero patience for anyone at that point. And it's just like, I feel bad because people gotta think I'm the moodiest guy ever because just like...
So antisocial.
It's just like, I'm so drained from pretend work. Like, I don't know, made up work. That I can't, at that point, talk to another human being.
I just don't have it in me right now.
Yeah. I feel like every time I talk to someone, it's like... And that's not always going to be the best thing for coworkers, especially when we had new people coming in today. Pressure. So anybody out there listening, Anthony, I'm sorry I was not that much of a conversationalist today.
Social butterfly.
I was not.
Yeah, I got to interact with our new coworker Bo yesterday, and he was doing his lifts. And
Bo.Whitman on Instagram. I actually worked with him multiple years ago.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I actually...
Stick around in the industry long enough and...
Yeah, I trained with him. I trained under him. There's no better way to say that.
A lot of snatches in your past together?
Yeah. Yeah, we did snatch. Yeah. So, but I trained with him. He's a real good guy. We're going to try him on the podcast.
We're going to try to get him on the podcast.
Week?
Yes. Or at some point during this month. We have a lot of people lined up, so we just have to schedule them.
You just will not commit.
Not gonna touch that one. But yeah, it was interesting watching him work because he's trying to get himself up to a certain percentage of weight that his coach would want him to get up to, and it was just interesting watching. It was like, it's like you're just having one of those tough days where you just feel like in that specific spot where you are, gravity is just that much stronger, and you're just like, this weight just feels so much heavier.
Some days, man.
Yeah. Some days you lift the weight, and some days the weight just presses on you more. So.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. You couldn't really reverse it.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, you know what was going for there.
Yeah. But I did notice that I came in today, and it was very strange. It was like it was already on the agenda. Coming today, and we already had a title for the episode.
Yes. So the last couple of days, I haven't been sleeping well, and having a little bit more free time. Like, what can I change in order to try to guarantee a better night's sleep? And so I stood in front of my bed and I was like, what can I change here? So I have a Bobopedic memory foam. Stop looking at me like that.
I don't know. The feng shui was off?
A little bit. There was.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your mirror placement is spot on every time. I've noticed that. That it's a very good angle.
Yeah. Well, it took a lot of work to attach that ceiling mirror, so it's like just want to make sure it's always clean as well. So I was like, what can I do? So I took my mattress, just completely flipped it and rotated it. I have a memory foam mattress because I started realizing as I sleep that my lower back was hurting when I slept face down.
Which company do you have?
Excuse me?
What company?
Bobopedic. Bob's Furniture.
Oh, is that real? Is that really what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. They have instead of an not orthopedic. Tempur-Pedic. Thank you. Instead of a Tempur-Pedic bed, which ranges like almost twice as much, they have their version of a Bobopedic, and I've had that type of bed for years, and it's a great mattress. But I think over the years, it's just kind of gotten worn in the middle a little bit.
I have a Casper. They all do the same.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. They all do. Like no matter what high end or whatever, they all at a certain point. Even the guy told me when he delivered it, because obviously I can't. I mean, I'm carrying Starbucks. I can't unpack my own boxed mattress. Come on now.
Those things are awkward and heavy.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Ugh.
These hands are too smooth.
I have smooth hands.
Yeah, but
genetically soft.
But he told me that you had to rotate it no matter what. Like
Yeah. So as soon as I did that, I was like, "Ooh, look at the firmness on this! It's like almost like a brand new mattress, like new bed. Who dis?" So it was nice. And then I was looking at my pillows, and I was just like, "I think I need new pillows because it was just awkward." In terms of my head placement as well, so I'm just breaking it down. Then I'm looking at where my bed is. I'm like I think that bed is too close to the radiator. So I
feel like this gave you OCD.
A little bit. I just started tearing it down from all angles. I'm like, what can I do here to change it? I'm constantly like every few months rotating the furniture around in my living room. Just like, all right, let's put this over there, that over there, and so on and so forth. Then I was looking at my bed. It's like I think my bed is too close to the radiator, so it's like I feel like I'm having like bouts of menopause at night. If I crack open the window, it gets too chilly. If I get too close to the radiator, I get too hot. Like, let's move the bed a little bit further away from the radiator as well. So it's a just ongoing experiment. Also ordered new pillows.
Black Cohosh will help with that.
I'm sorry, what?
Black Cohosh. I used to run a GNC. Listen, we had to push these herbs. Anybody out there with menopause, I'm talking to you, Lewis. Black Cohosh really helps with that.
Self-diagnosed.
Yeah. Just let you know. Or you can move the bed away from the radiator.
Or that, yeah. I'm not looking down the line of like, oh, maybe I should drink some more like, melatonin at night or something. I'd feel like the amount of melatonin I'd probably have to drink to make it significant would probably not work for me.
Yeah, considering you have to mainline caffeine to feel anything.
Yeah, even that's becoming just like, it's more of a ritual now. It's not even it has an effect as much anymore, so.
Yeah, you just need something in your hand going towards your mouth. I get it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sums it up nicely. Yeah. Thanks.
So did you go to the infomercial of My Pillow guy?
No, I was not going to support that guy.
I love that guy. That guy's
amazing. I'd rather support the guy who was the one that Billy, what was his name? He was the other infomercial guy. He died
not Tybo, not Billy Blanks.
No. He was the other infomercial guy that, if somebody knows, just DM me the name. He was unfortunately died of a heart attack on a flight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from too many years of cocaine.
Was he also in a Rowdy Piper movie?
No, he wasn't in They Live.
Okay.
No, he wasn't in that. But no, I used to enjoy his infomercials for pillows and whatnot.
So where did you end up getting?
Well, I fell down this YouTube hole the other day.
Because I'm assuming this is all going towards a recommendation for anybody listening, right?
Well, no, yes, recommendation in the sense of like I watched some guy's video on YouTube for like highly recommended products throughout the year that he used and he still uses, and it's a shredded memory foam pillow where you can adjust it to the height that you like.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, anybody, we always ask for feedback, and there's different contests and things that we were trying to put together. I don't know why I just thought of this, but anybody listening, we will do a top 5 any product that you send in. If you send in any type of product, the DM us at more_than_meatheads on Instagram. Any product, we'll take the best suggestions out there. Any product, we'll do a top 5 best of video, and then we'll be on there on the interwebs permanently, because everything on the internet stays on
forever. Yeah.
And we'll do a top 5. We'll do a best of. We'll have to try it out.
Yeah, and the only stipulation that I have is that I'm allergic to apples, soy milk. That's about it. Everything else I'm down for. I'll try.
Not latex, thankfully.
No. Yeah. Tested that several times.
All right.
Rubber gloves. I like making the little animals.
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah. So why was this so important to you, though, to replace your pillow, bed, change things around?
Bro, sleep is so important.
Is it moss goes on the north side of the tree? Yeah, so you need to put your facing the bed east, or I don't know how that works.
Well, yeah.
Was there a compass involved?
No, there was a gyrator, but it wasn't a compass. So, same thing? No, whatever. So, but sleep is just so important. It's all in line with recovery, which is just as important as working out, and it's also associated to like a better life and longevity and just better mood and disposition. And we all know you can't get enough of that nowadays with everything going on. So, and if you're going to be at home so much, and if you're going to spend so much time lying down, you might as well make it as effective and efficient as possible.
Have you felt the difference since you've done this?
Well, as soon as I flipped the bed, I was going to give it at least 3 nights before I was just like, should I start, maybe this was worthless.
The third date, huh?
Yeah, basically on the third date with my bed. And no, we're happy. It's going well.
Are you exclusive, or will you take a nap on the couch?
No, the futon still sees some action.
Nice.
So, should put in the FU in futon. But just rotating the mattress seems to help a lot already. So it just feels nice. Didn't realize how different it feels when the mattress is firmer and it's just supporting you that much better. So that was already a good, promising thing.
Now, like anything else, what we recommend is that you don't want to change everything at once.
Yeah, you need it's like old school science projects. You need your variable and you need your x. The x is the variable. You need your constant and your variable.
To make a volcano.
Yeah, baking soda and what is it? Vinegar?
I have no idea.
You need a base and an acid.
I wasn't popular in school.
It's a litmus test, bro.
And I also wasn't involved. Like I can't...
Wow, it's a good thing you grew out of those habits. Yeah. Apparently, once again, Anthony, Shane is sorry for that.
Apparently, I'm blaming it on leg day ever since I was in 6th grade. Yeah, it's just not my thing. But what we're trying to say is that if you're going to change one thing, just like any other habit, right? Change one thing. Yeah, you can't change everything because you don't know what actually was that factor that caused that change. So like what you're saying, positioning does matter. Coming away from the radiator, if you want to be ideally sleeping in a cooler temperature, right? Mm-hmm. We talked about those studies that about 68 degrees, if you don't have a thermostat ready, just a little bit cooler to the point that I always
remember you're taking the temperature of the room. This isn't a temperature of yourself, so it's not like a rectal thermometer or something.
No, not at all. But when you're doing it, I would like to think of it as someone getting tucked in, right, with the covers, but then having your feet out. That is about the temperature that you're looking for.
Yeah. So you're looking to keep that, but without having to do that.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at, and then. You're talking about the pillow. The pillow, I know we got away from it a little bit. The pillow that you ended up getting was a memory.
It's shredded memory foam.
Okay.
And they send you a large pillow, and then they send you extra, so you can adjust it to what you like.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and I'm sure it comes with a guide of where your neck should be.
Do you have the name of the company or?
I got it off of Amazon, and it should be arriving today, actually.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm looking forward to that. So I'll provide some follow-up from the next.
Okay, so I thought you already had the pillow. So
no.
So this is.
It's running late. It should have been here yesterday. So.
Kind of wish I asked that before the podcast. Oh well. But you're talking about that you already seen some market improvement just by
flipping the bed. So like what we're talking about, like not changing too many things, so you can keep track of what's helping. So it's just a next step in the progress. It's like, all right, I did this. It's like I'm even thinking about changing my pillow sheets as well. It's like, oh, I feel like it might be a little bit too rough. Maybe something smoother, higher thread count. So.
And then how does that affect you in your training?
Well, in my personal training, it gives me more of a disposition to want to work out because I feel better rested. So I've figuring out the temperature thing was one thing, which is why I moved my furniture around this morning because I've been up since 5:30 in the morning. Just wide awake. I took a nap earlier today already just because I had nothing to do, so I'm just going to take a nap.
And if a client comes to you, we get this all the time, before, especially being in New York City, where people like to burn the candle on both ends.
Yeah.
If a client comes to me and works out multiple times a week, but then is binge drinking or staying out late or even I've had where clients are up late working, lawyers, there's certain there's certain professions out there that they are just up all night at certain points.
Has a certain proclivity to messing up their sleep cycle. Yeah.
And I've sent people home before. They'll come into me and I'll be ready to work with them, and then I see how they're moving, and I see how much their coordination gets affected by lack of sleep. And then you gotta understand that you're doing damage to yourself in the gym. Yes, you are getting blood pumping, depending on what you're doing, so it's always a good thing. But also, you are putting yourself in a position to tear down to rebuild.
Yeah.
And if you're already in a state where you're kind of, we call it
handicapped.
We call it catabolic, but you're breaking down already.
Yeah.
Adding to that with stress, even if it's good stress, like exercise, is not going to be beneficial to you in the long run. So you got to make sure that the second part, which isn't as sexy, the recovery part, is actually the more important of the two.
Yeah. My client yesterday at Pressure was telling me how his insomnia is starting to act up again. So I saw him, let's say 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and he told me that he had gone to bed at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was just like, oof. So he was feeling very sluggish and lethargic and everything. And he was like, yeah, it's like, I'm just trying to get my insomnia under control. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm also just concerned about you neurologically, in the sense of you're not going to be able to respond and react the way that I need you to for the workout.
Yeah, some exercise actually does help with that. You just got to be careful of which kind.
So I wasn't going to have him...
What do you recommend to him when it comes to some type of exercise? I don't think you're not necessarily 1 rep maxing on bench press.
No. But I did try to get his... And I wasn't going to go heavy on the cardiovascular either, just for the sake of getting him winded. But at the same time, it wasn't going to be something that's super coordinated where he had to think that much about it as well. So it was more just to like get him circulated, get him into the workout.
Talked. We just hung out.
We talked about the latest Star Trek Discovery. It was great. Actually, we do.
Yeah, I know, I'm sure you did.
So, but yeah, it wasn't anything. We like you said, we didn't go like one rep max. But we also didn't go, 25 reps for anything either. So it was just more of just rotational, some dynamic moving, just to get his heart rate up and a little bit of a sweat going, just so.
Yeah, just light.
Yeah.
Just stay light. Just really know where you're at, and just because it's, we used to say this all the time, right? Where it's not just because it's on the paper or it's on the program, doesn't mean that's what you have to do.
It's not dogma. It's not a must.
You have to assess yourself, and that's I would say one of the more important jobs of the fitness professional is to objectively assess the client while they come in by the day. So you need to do that by yourself, where it's like, okay, how am I really feeling? Now, I'm not looking for a lazy way out, an excuse, and nothing like that. But you do need to be honest with yourself, where it's like, hey, maybe today's not the day to push it. But on the flip side, when it is the day to push it, do it.
Yeah. Every time I see a client, I always have an idea in mind of like, all right, this is what I want to do with you based upon like what we did last time. So as to progress and also fix what needs fixing. Cool. Let's compare my notes to your notes. How do you feel today? How was your weekend? What's going on? How did you sleep? When's the last time you ate? Now we can compare notes. It's like, all right, cool. We can still stick to most of my plan.
Yeah.
Or none of my plan.
It's a template, but there's going to be a lot of modification within that.
Which is why, like, when it comes to my clients, especially since they don't want to train like that, I'm not a work out of the day type of person.
Yeah, and then you also have with this time of year, you're gonna a lot of those people that do 2-a-days all of a sudden out of nowhere, and then they also do like high intensity cardio and this almost like bodybuilder mindset. What bodybuilders do for specifically to get stage ready, well, they'll do an hour of cardio, fasted state. That's not necessarily the safest or most effective thing for the individual. A lot of times you're going to see your body respond better, especially for body composition, if you just stay in bed and sleep the extra hour, as opposed to getting up super early, disrupting your sleep pattern, and then going to hit cardio. Your body's not going to actually respond the way you would think it would.
There's so much ego involved as well, and then like we pick numbers for rep counts and to tell as an objective for clients. But at the same time, your body's not so programmed and robotic that you need to get to that number. So sometimes you don't need to get in that workout if your body needs the recovery more.
You mean 3 sets of 10 isn't magic?
I do 15.
Oh, all right. Then I guess it's not magic. Sleep is a huge part of what we do, which is almost strange to say. I know when I was at a powerlifting facility, now we're talking like elite level powerlifters, right? They put themselves in an unhealthy state to actually achieve performance.
Oh, interesting.
Because if you're looking at, say, by a weight class, you have to gain a certain amount of weight, you have to have a certain amount of muscle mass on your body, even just muscle mass. We're not talking just overweight, but generally overweight is you're going to have sleep apnea.
Yeah.
A lot of issues with that. If you ever have people with excessive snoring,
yes.
I know that when I'm at a heavier weight, I have excessive snoring just from the sheer amount of body fat pressing against my trachea, that I will be in a position where I am not breathing half the time at night. So
one of our coworkers used to go through that when he would be into his larger bodybuilding phase in his workouts. Yeah. You know, we spend long hours, so we had a couch that we all take naps on or whatever. And when he was at his largest size, he would snore like a truck.
Yeah.
And it was from just the weight on his chest.
And when you have that and you're maybe at a lighter weight still, it might be a good idea to go consult your doctor, because they're like my mother, for instance, has a CPAP machine to help her breathe at night. It might be as simple as that. I know elite level in shape guys that use a CPAP, and all of a sudden they can breathe better. And now, if you're breathing at night, actually getting oxygen in, it's amazing what your body can actually accomplish. So you may want to get that checked out as well.
Yeah, and that just opens up another can of worms in terms of just like nasal breathing over mouth breathing, and how that affects the physiologically your how you metabolize oxygen, and also how you train your ribs to move compared to your diaphragm as well, and blah blah blah. Well, we can talk to Rua about that type of stuff anyway. So
yeah, Rua, what's his handle?
Biomechanist.
Mechanist.
Yeah.
Biomechanist. That always trips me up as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have him on.
It's funny when you immediately, as you said, training at it like with like you didn't say handicap, but like training. You just said it.
I did?
Yeah. When you're.
I have the memory of a goldfish.
Apparently.
I don't know what I just said.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, okay, cool. I love doing things live. So sleep, when you're doing sleep, obviously you're doing the mattress. One big thing, especially for right now, this will be the last thing we talk about on sleep for today.
For all of you still awake out there.
Yeah. that was a subversive goal here, just nap time. Nappy nap. So when you're doing sleep, think about your bedroom.
Okay.
Should not be on the phone. Should not have any screen whatsoever in that area. As much as possible, you want all electronics out of there. The bedroom really should be only for two things: sleeping and
the other thing,
binge eating.
Yes.
All
right.
Okay, maybe crying. Okay, three things. Sleep and should be reserved for the bedroom, and the bedroom should be reserved for sleep. There should be no outside any type of stimulation or anything like that, because that's going to throw off your pattern as well.
I try to be really strict about that, but I'll be completely transparent. Like, if I can't sleep, I'll just turn on the light on my phone as much as possible, and I'll read until I get sleepy. And I feel like my sleep discomfort is more of a physical thing and not a mental thing.
Yes. That's what we're addressing right now with the mattress. And
you're
going to let us know. We're going to keep us updated. It's going to be super exciting.
So how'd you sleep?
Yes. I can't wait for that conversation.
That update, yeah.
You left too early. I got cold.
Which reminds me, getting back my keys, you son of a bitch.
Oh shit, I do have your keys. I do.
Waking up every night by myself. Obviously, you're not showing up. So I want my keys back. Man, I've been waiting to say that on the air for so long.
For the record, Lewis left
when I went on my road trip.
New York, gave me his extra keys. But you're absolutely right. Talk about leaving it out there. I'm sorry I've been disappointing.
Talk about missed potential.
Wow.
Right there. Yep.
I don't see any of the signs. Shit. I'm sorry. So that's it for the day. Going on to current events. And current events are actually pretty exciting. And the fact that our boy Jimmy Hit Machine might have been right this whole time.
The shorter the shorts, the better the workout.
Yes. Well, that's not what this article is about, actually.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah. This article is about a secret to longevity is 4-minute bursts of intense exercise may help. And all this study was in New York Times, actually. You sent me this.
Yes.
This study was in Norway. They took 1,500 volunteers above the age of 60 or 70, I believe. And they followed them over a 5-year pattern. And unfortunately, with studies like this, they studied the mortality rate. And the people that...
We're waiting for you to die.
Yeah. But people who exercise didn't die. So that's better? I don't know. But what it showed was that high-intensity exercise, not just the exercise that you're recommended for like 3 times a week, just basic exercise. No, this is the short burst, high-intensity exercise when you're older actually contributes to longevity.
Longevity, yeah. It's also interesting to note that you said it took place in Norway, correct?
Yes, they're Norwegian.
Yeah, I think from just that platform alone, because of their lifestyles, it's interesting to see if there could be a comparison to Americans of that age, and also from where they're coming from. Like if you have Midwestern Americans that you run the same experiment with. Just and consider, quality of life and type of food and everything else factored in.
True.
So it would be. I would love to see the comparison of data on that between the two different countries. So.
Yeah, I mean there are some parts of the country that I've lived in where you look around and you're like, okay, the most high intensity that you've gotten is maybe the adrenaline spike you get when you get road rage in the drive-thru.
Yeah. Or sprinting back to your car from when you just got your food.
Yes. But in Norway, they actually said that these individuals were pretty prototypical of what they would study worldwide for 60, 70 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually made it a point to say that.
Yeah, because I always like to look at like, well, in this country, they seem to be healthier and have more of an outdoor lifestyle, and also eat a lot more fish or whatever the case may be. So.
Yeah, no, they were saying that it's pretty prototypical, and then the people that actually that's why they did the study in the way they did, whereas volunteers for it, so they got all kinds.
Okay.
It was 1,500 people.
They were also saying that these types of tests are really difficult because these are long-term exams that have to run on people, and it's kind of sad because it takes you're just waiting for people to die so you could just amass all the data.
Yeah.
And then also it's really expensive because you got to keep these studies going on for decades at a time.
Oh yeah, and you also you change over time.
Yeah.
I'm not into the same things I was into before.
So it's also interesting if like somebody lives an unhealthy lifestyle, they have a health scare and then they want to change it, but the scientists go, no, you got to stay the way you are, going to ruin all our.
Well, it's a lot like being employed at our job or Hooters. It's like this isn't what I hired. So you gotta make sure you stay the course and stay consistent. That's
where you go.
What? That's exactly what the speech that our boss gave me. You don't know this. You didn't know this.
I didn't get that.
You didn't have to fit into the T-shirt.
I know. We got an updated employee handbook that I have to sign off on. But
yeah, read the fine print, bud. They take a Polaroid and they put you on the back wall.
It's a grid behind you.
Yeah.
Just like this is where you were.
Yeah, you're only allowed to get a new shirt if it's a size lower. Bullshit. I know he listens to every episode, so Taj, listen, I'm sorry. He's never gonna listen.
Someone's gonna tell him though.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah.
But then you do bring up a good point of staying the course over time and what is necessary to do so, because especially with this COVID situation, this pandemic, you get a lot of people that are in isolation and their behavior changes. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
For people just listening, Lewis just got his high intensity exercise. He just ran to the door and came back.
Cardio, check.
Okay. But what I was saying.
So yeah, no, I heard you.
Okay.
No, isolationism does change people in
very strange ways.
It does. It's interesting what it does to people, also in the sense of when they're used to a certain type of attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just said yeah because I wanted you to keep going. I'm just trying to give you enough rope to hang yourself with.
I swing, I don't hang.
But you will notice as you look around to your not even your friends, your acquaintances, or in this case coworkers in our industry, it is very, as you would think, there are a lot of superficial people. It just is what it is. I'm not even talking bad about anyone, but just saying in our industry, that's based on looks, that's based on aesthetics.
It's very
You're going to get that.
It's very aesthetic driven.
Yeah, you're going to get that more than usual. I mean, obviously, it's maybe underpinning at any type of work that you're at right now, but it is very overt, blatant, and sold in our line of work. And with this isolationism, I was actually talking to Anthony today about this, where a lot of people just kind of didn't know what to do and just went silent.
Yeah.
Because they're just they're so used to having that interaction, that attention day in, day out, that now you get to see them for a little bit of who they really are. You take a step back. If you take a step back from scrolling on Instagram for a second, and you just look at the information and I don't want to say propaganda, but the image that someone's putting out there and what they're doing it for, what's their why behind expressing themselves. If it's literally for them to express themselves, those are the people that you want around because they are actually being authentic with you. I think we talked about this last time. But a lot of the times out there, the kids call it a thirst trap. A lot of the times people put out there things that they just need that heart. They need that double tap.
They want that notification. Yeah. So it's interesting because of the circumstances that we're in today, of what that stress level does to people and where they go. You know, you try to decipher with the little bit of information that you have on your screen of, is this because this is who this person really is, or is this because this is how they're dealing with the stress?
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see, you know, we're not qualified to diagnose anyone, or...
We do it anyway.
We do it anyway. It's like, oh, it's probably because you weren't held by your dad. You know, we're not going to do that out loud. But it is interesting to see, like, as you scroll through someone's, like, history, I'm like, oh, this is how you started. Ooh, this is where you are. Okay, yeah, I'm not signing up to your OnlyFans. No, I'm good, thanks.
I don't, what? I like that if you were going to sign up for OnlyFans, and then, because you scrolled 2 months back, you're like, no, this isn't...
I didn't say I was going to sign
up. Oh, okay, but
it's just where they are now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now they're at OnlyFans. Now they weren't before. That makes sense. Yeah, if you actually look back on, and it's an interesting experiment to do. If you obviously you know this is the devil, the explore function on Instagram. But if you go on
we know you're looking for this, but what do you think of this?
Yeah.
How do I get on those screens? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's like the fucking laser pointer to a cat. I'm like, what's going on? But it's...
Side note, totally random you said that. Matthew over at Power PT, don't know why he had a laser pointer, but I was at the lockers at Pressure yesterday out on the gym floor, and I was like a cat. Yeah. All of a sudden I see it on the floor, and I was just like, ooh, what's that?
Yeah.
He's just fucking with me. It kept happening.
I could definitely see that. But a good experiment is to go through your social media, anything that doesn't have to do with business and has to do with your personal, right? Go through your social media and look at your influences, and not just look at your influences right now. A lot of people will say that we're like, hey, go through and delete everybody that doesn't contribute to where you're at right now. Don't just do that. Go onto their profile and see over the past 8-9 months with this isolation what they've been going through.
Yeah.
Is it just is it getting progressively more toxic, or is it actually someone who's coming into their own and actually contributing to where you're at? So that is a good experiment to run. I've had to do that a couple times where just like I'll have this instinctual, like I gotta do a purge and just get rid of all this on social media. But instead I actually go into it. Some people that maybe at face value it looks like, okay, well maybe this is just like we talk about thirst trap, is actually someone who started their own business, actually is trying to better themselves. Actually,
it's super subjective, and that needle is very sensitive. But it is interesting to see as to like, you know, where someone is and where their objective is. It's like, what are they trying to do with this? Especially when it's not business related. It's just all personal. And it's like, all right, this person's obviously struggling with something, and it's like, I know it's just a little double tap, but sometimes I feel like I'm an enabler for some people, and I'm like, I can't get, even though it's just one little like, I can't give into this.
Well, it's like the whole thing when you're voting with your dollar.
That's what it is.
You're voting with your likes.
Yeah.
I know my brother's out there.
Shot.
There you go.
Oh, we haven't done that in a while.
I know.
For any new listeners, Shane used to mention his brother often, and I felt like it'd be a great drinking game. So when he mentions his brother, I yell shot. Now you're updated. Continue.
Yeah. But he follows, if you go to his Explorer, he follows just guys that find rare junk food items.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
get me on that algorithm.
He has this weird thing. He has this weird thing. It's actually pretty cool where he just goes and he just sets up these little challenges for himself where he's like, I'm going to find that, like the birthday cake Oreo or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Some deep fried something.
Something. And then I guess the reward for his trouble is the item, but it takes like multiple weeks to find it.
Yeah.
So he's actually making his social media work for him. So, it doesn't have to be that, amazing. Obviously, but just little fun games like that keep you interested, keep you engaged, and actually, on paper, it may not seem like it contributes. I get that. But to him, that actually contributes to his mental health.
But that's also the psychological element where it helps you. You need that little bit of indulgence to be like, oh, okay, I can have fun with this. This is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though we went on this weird tangent, back to high intensity.
We're back to old people working out.
Yeah. We actually found a follow-up article on that where it was not actually within the same vein, but it is to test your heart health by climbing stairs. I actually found that this was pretty appropriate for what we were talking about as high intensity. If you want to test your heart health, it would be climbing 4 flights of stairs in less than a minute. Indicates good heart health, according to research.
Dumb question. 4 flights means...
European Society of Cardiology.
Does that mean 2 floors?
I don't know. It's European, so maybe metric. I don't know where they're going with this.
Does that mean 8 flights?
I don't know, man.
You multiply by 2?
How many centimeters does that equal to in ounces? I have no idea.
Do I go on the right side of the stairs?
That's a great question. I don't know.
What do I do?
I feel like I didn't help out with this reference at all. But if you want to give it a shot, whatever you think of as 4 flights, then you just do that. And if you can do it in under a minute, hey, good job.
You did it.
Yay!
Also, if you're working out at home, good way to do some cardio. Incorporate that into your work.
My brother does that. That's literally that's why it piqued my interest. Is that he lives on the 2nd floor. And up and down, up and down, up and down. He used to do that just for his cardio. So it is actually a pretty good way to get the heart pumping, and you don't have to leave quarantine for that necessarily.
No, technically that's in your bubble. So that's a good way to do it.
In your bubble. And the last one, we have why diet soda I can't remember.
Not be as good for you as you think.
May not be as beneficial. May backfire when it comes to weight loss. My handwriting's terrible.
Chicken scratch, bro.
So why diet soda may backfire when it comes to weight loss?
Shocker.
It's weird. I disagree and agree with this.
Oh, please elaborate.
So the argument that they're making is that it is the sweeteners are
artificial.
Well, yeah, but okay. So where would you go with this if someone said diet soda?
I personally dislike diet soda just because I think it tastes disgusting.
Yes.
Unless you actually like the taste of it, you're not doing anything healthy for yourself. You're not doing anything really healthy for yourself by drinking soda in the first place. But if you're going to go diet, do it because you like it. Don't think you're actually doing something healthier for yourself. Okay,
so the argument would be that a regular soda has a lot of calories. A lot of calories from sugar, but a lot of calories.
Mm-hmm.
A diet soda is not.
But it still has a lot of artificial sweeteners. So then you get into the chemicals of it. So
okay, so why is that a problem?
It's just so artificial. Who knows what long-term damage is doing to everything else on your insides.
Okay.
So
couple things. One, the argument that they make is the artificial sweeteners, which are more sweet than sugar, actually put you in a position where you crave sugar more because it's fucking with your taste buds.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden now you are used to that sweetness, now you want more of that sweetness.
Yeah.
So that way that's why it may backfire with them. To your point about the chemicals and the artificial, right? You're still giving your body something processed, and so now it wants more processed.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a behavioral argument, which I completely agree with. That's why I'm on that side where it's like you probably want to limit your diet soda intake just because coming from someone who gains weight easily, I know I can't just have a taste.
Yeah,
so
it's portion control.
That's just me. So, but what it does not do, what people think of is every study that has to do with artificial sweeteners. It's hard to say every, but the majority of research that has to do with artificial sweeteners and the negative effects, cancer causing, is not necessarily, I don't want to say factual, but it doesn't necessarily apply to us. A lot of times those are studies with mice, and then they're given such a high dosage that such a high dosage of anything would cause issues.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow Dr. Layton Norton, he has a ton of stuff on this, but it is pretty much considered like fact versus putting out just random propaganda that they're relatively, the sweetener thing is relatively safe, and it is a great 0 or low calorie option to a regular soda, and I think it's great to kind of come down, like one step down from a regular soda on the way to no soda whatsoever, just because of what we're talking about is that most obesity is caused because of behavioral patterns. And so that constant habitual behavior, anything we can do to modify habitual behavior.
It's not the soda that did it, it's everything else.
So if we're going back to the sleep and the recovery, right? We're not going to throw out everything at once. Because we've dealt with enough people who are trying to make these positive changes that if you change everything at once, now it becomes almost defensive. Like you want to hold on to this identity you have.
And your likelihood of rebounding worse increases, and your likelihood of failure increases because you just went too hard in the paint.
Yes.
In terms of like cutting things out.
So if you are going to be moving towards a more healthy lifestyle, switching to a diet option is great as long as we know that that's on the way to something else. That's on the way to maybe replace it with just water would be nice.
That's your nicotine patch to just start weaning yourself off.
Yes. That would be the way to do it. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if would you have a soda patch?
Ooh, that'd be fun. Like a Pop Rocks?
That'd be so sticky. Anyway.
Sticky icky.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. And just remember, we try to keep it fun, functional, and factual because it's the only F's that we give. All right, guys. Don't be assholes to one another. Be kind. Take care. Bye. 46 minutes.
We could have cut out the first 20.